There are 12 bad habits that women commit that men just can't stand. And Evie Magazine is highlighting these. If you could take a guess, Jenny, at what one of these habits might be, what would your guess be?
Complaining.
Oh, you know, that's a good one. And I would say it goes both ways. Nobody likes
Yep.
a complainer. All right, so Evie Magazine has it here. They said
Okay.
if hot girl behavior means being late, dramatic, and proud of it, men aren't exactly lining up for more. We ask guys what bad habits women have that drive them crazy, and no, the results are not shocking, but they are worth a double take. And then we're gonna get into some of the men's stuff too after this, and then we're gonna get into Diddy drama, Diddy updates.
Oh
Okay,
man.
so number one is micromanaging. Okay, don't micromanage and pick things apart, guys. Number two, chronically running late. Oofda. I've been guilty of that.
Me too.
Girl, let me tell you. I was
Man.
I was like what, 3 hours late to my own birthday this year?
That is true. You were 3 hours late.
Dude, I could not help that. Some work stuff came up. When you're an entrepreneur, it
Oh,
happens.
I
Gosh.
remember that. I just found that out.
Chronically running late. Okay, number three, gossiping.
Oh yeah, men hate gossipers.
So toxic.
It
Number four.
is. You know, gossip is like a sin, and it talks about it in the Bible.
Right. The Bible's like, don't do it. And then just don't do it, guys. I also don't want a man who gossips. So,
Oh my God, guys, gossip.
dude, they do.
Oh my
It's,
God.
some of them, it's probably not as bad on the male side, but some of them do. Let's stay positive, everyone. Okay, bad
Literally.
eating habits. What?
Like pretty
Bad.
much like not being healthy.
It says we've all heard the line if I'm next to a plate of cookies, I literally will eat the whole thing. It's so bad, lol. Or I haven't eaten anything all day except coffee, my protein shake at 8 a.m. this morning. Or that ice cream is so good, I literally will eat a whole pint myself for dinner. Okay, so they men don't want a woman who eats like that. I like that. I like to hear that. Men want a health nut.
But you know that Jennifer Champion told me the first thing that men look for, it's not value, it's nothing, it's not degree, money, it's all physical health. I was like, really? She was like,
Wow.
mm-hmm,
They want a girl who takes care of her
of
body.
herself.
Wowzers. I love that. Okay. Rant texting.
Oh my
Yeah,
God, I don't do that.
negativity is just not attractive, guys. It says let's get straight to the point here. Long texts stress guys out, even if they do read the whole message. Oh, so just a long text in general. Dude, I agree, I like to keep
Like a
like,
long,
dude, if you're
like a
gonna make a
novel.
just call someone if it's gonna be an ultra long text.
You know, a lot of people don't like to talk on the phone anymore.
And that is something I don't like. It's like grow up, guys, and have a verbal communication.
That's true.
Impulse shopping.
What?
What's wrong with that, my friend?
That's me
Hold
every
up.
day.
Here's where I get defensive. Just kidding.
That's me every day. Impulse shopping. There's always something to buy.
Bro, if I have my own money, let me impulse shop a little, girl.
A little bit. At least go to
Oh.
Sephora and get a lipstick for $12.
Man, what if the impulse purchase is for you? Wouldn't you like that?
I know, right? What if I gave you like some shoes, a
Yeah.
watch?
Yeah. Chronic complaining. There you go. Isn't that what you said?
Yep.
There it is. Chronic complaining.
Yeah, men hate a woman that is always bitching and complaining.
Right. Well, that
Guys,
goes without
I had a
needing
friend of mine that told me that, oh, she just like her relationship is still fresh, and she was like, "Yeah, I complain all the time." And I told her, I was like, "Listen, for the first 3 years, maybe at that is gonna be cute, and afterwards, yeah, it's not gonna fly anymore. It's gonna cause a lot of problems because
Oof.
you're gonna just be in a habit of complaining, and anything that you say, like before you even say it, he's gonna just have something to say to you."
Mhm.
Because you know that you're just gonna bitch and complain, and you don't want to just bitch and complain all day every day. It's not
I
about
I
you
think,
all the time.
a lot of girls are pretty defensive about this, though, and there's that popular quote by allegedly Marilyn Monroe that's like, "If you can't handle me at my worst, then you don't deserve me at my best." And so that's my free ticket to complain all I want, and it's
Oh,
like,
please.
if the roles were reversed and you were having to be the sane one and bear the burden of your man complaining all the time, how would you feel? Gets old
Exactly.
gets old after a while, so just
It
take some
literally gets
responsibility.
old.
Yeah. Coffee addiction flexes. I was like, "What is this?" And, it's basically when girls say things like, "I'm dysfunctional before 9 a.m." or don't talk to me before my
My
coffee,"
coffee
and they just think it's so awesome that they just, like, glorify glorify that they're basically horrible people without
unhealthy.
coffee. Yeah, it's like a legit addiction.
Oh my god, isn't it crazy the things that we say sometimes? Like, man, are just like they're so stupid.
Yeah, that coffee addiction thing is like a serious trend. There's like plaques that people hang on their walls that say things like this.
Oh my god.
Um, yeah, I run on coffee all this time. Disorganization is the next one. A
Oh yeah.
messy apartment or car is not cute, my friends.
You want to be organized and be clean.
Amen. Not knowing how to cook. That is
What?
not it is not attractive when a girl doesn't know how to cook, girl.
That is so true because it's like a guy would just naturally assume that you're domesticated. And I always tell a lot of women, you don't have to be like a chef and know how to cook. Just learn how to make some eggs, chicken, some fish, just simple stuff that at least he can digest. You don't have to be. No, like seriously,
Right.
like you don't have to be a chef and make all these like elaborate meal. You just want to cook something.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what's crazy? One thing about that I think is that when men are obsessed with cooking, it's unattractive. Like the opposite
Really?
side is I yeah, and I realize a lot of my girlfriends don't think that. And I'm like, why do I feel that way? I guess it's because of my parents. I was raised by like super traditional parents where my dad was out getting his hands dirty working blue collar all day and he'd come home and my mom would have a meal cooked. And now that's just my vision of a couple.
You know what? I'm a chef and I would never say no. If Zeta wants to learn how to cook and be a chef too, I would say thank you, Jesus.
Yeah, I'm sure that I mean that makes sense on your end because it's like that when it's your job to cook, it kind of gets old and you'd like a little bit of help.
Yeah, when it's your job to cook and when your man doesn't know how to cook.
Plus you have a man who doesn't like know how to cook.
He doesn't cook at all. He doesn't know how to cook at all. So it's like, whoa.
To me, if
So
a man is obsessed with cooking, I mean, I guess it depends. If he has his career on fire and he has time to experiment in the kitchen, that's different. But if the man is obsessed with cooking more than he is with his career, then I have serious questions.
what about cooking is his career?
That's different. If he's like a celebrity chef, I'm like, okay, I respect
Got you.
that. A friend of mine, she married a guy who was like a very successful restaurateur, went on to uh build a food empire. So yeah, he happened to be a great chef as he was raking in millions from his bread company and whatnot. So that's different,
Hello.
like I said, you know. Otherwise, if a man is not in the food industry in that aspect, then I just think it's girly. But that's just me. Just, our parents leave impressions on us, and that's what I was raised with. I believe women should cook. All right, so next one is being passive in the dating scene. Some men express frustration and annoyance at how women are almost always expecting guys to make the first move without giving any kind of look or encouragement.
I'm
They're like,
telling you, I tell my friends this all the time. And you know what they always say? Oh, I'm not looking for a man. I'm not chasing a man. Well, that's why you're single.
at
It's like,
least
guys,
smile,
you
right?
have to, like, it's a two-way. When you're dating someone, they're not dating themselves. They're
Yeah.
literally dating you. Like, if you're
Uh-huh.
not gonna put any effort, or if you're not gonna show interest, why the hell do you think this mighty beautiful man, that, well, Jesus Christ doesn't exist, first of all. He's not on earth yet to come and just come in front of you. You have to put some work in too. And I love when they always say, "Oh, I'm not looking," and I'm like, "That's why you're single." Because the
So
ones
do
that
you
are
think
looking are actually dating guys and getting married. The ones that are not looking are the ones that are single. So okay,
yeah, but
continue
at the
to
same
not
time,
look.
if a woman chases a man, that's not exactly a good vibe either.
I don't think you should
The
chase a
desperate
man.
chase.
I think you should just show interest, you know, and a man, I don't think chasing should, a man shouldn't chase a woman shouldn't chase a man.
Right.
I think
Right.
it should be both of
Everyone
them.
stop being desperate.
Yeah, not being desperate. Like, it's just be like, show interest. You just want to show
Yeah.
some type of interest, right? From a man and
Amen.
from a woman. Because
Amen.
I don't think it
Yeah,
should be like one sided. You know what I
absolutely.
mean?
Just use some common sense, guys. Do you think Jesus ever dated?
It doesn't say that in the Bible, but they say he never sinned.
And
Um,
it's basically a sin to not date, right?
I don't know. It doesn't really talk
No,
about Jesus' love life in the Bible. But I mean, the
exactly.
first miracle, I mean, not the first miracle, the first thing that God did in Genesis is he formed marriage. So he married pretty
Exactly. And
much. So I think that alone showed, it's just an example that love is something that we should take very seriously.
amen. That's why I joked that not dating is a sin because
Yeah, I
again and
think,
again and again in the Bible, God talks about the importance of people getting married.
yeah, for
And
sure.
and it literally says in Ecclesiastes 4 that two is better than one,
One. I mean, that's why he
which
put Adam to sleep and literally remove, and that was not the only thing that God has said that was not good, right? When
yeah,
he was creating everything, is for Adam to be alone. So when you hear
exactly.
people be like, "Oh, I'm just gonna be alone for the rest of my life," "Oh yeah, I'm fine," "Oh yeah, I'm just gonna," I'm like, "Okay, girl." I'm like, "Okay, okay, babes." High five to you. But it's like not
Yeah.
good.
Oh my gosh. So my aunt, yeah, the same aunt who cured her thyroid by eating beans, whose house
Right.
I'm podcasting from right now, who manifested the expansion of her house through killing a tree with her words. She said she used to think that God wanted her to be single
Oh my
because
God.
because having a man would take her away from her focus on God. Finally, at age 40, it dawned on her that God put the desire for marriage in her heart. And then that very year, she met her husband. But she was blocking her own blessing by telling herself a lie that God wanted her to be alone.
I know they always tell themselves that because they just feel like they're giving up on life, and it's a defense mechanism.
Man. Okay, anyway, the next one is playing the victim.
Oh my God. Take
Men,
accountability, guys. It's okay. You're wrong. Apologize.
it says we often hear rally cries from women, "I don't need a man," followed closely by complaints that men only want casual flings. Girl, you're doing it to yourself when you talk like that.
Yup.
And that's the last one. All
Wow.
right.
Playing the victim. I think playing the victim is a big one. A lot of women are always like they want to be victim of something. Oh, it just happened to me because I'm this, because I'm this, because I'm a girl. Because I feel
Yes.
like I did that this morning too. I was like, oh, they just don't want to sign up because I'm a black girl. No,
Oh,
girl. You just not taking your job seriously.
it's so easy actually for everyone to find a victim card in their life.
Oh, of course.
And you sabotage your own life when you do that. It's
Yep.
why now I preach about not having a pity party. It's like a lot of people think if I lick my wounds, that's helping me heal. No, it's not. It's making you toxic and stuck. You are toxic and unattractive to everyone when you do that.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone, including friends. And you're going to be stuck in that hell if you keep having a pity party.
Yeah.
Snap out of it. That's how you get ahead in life. You're going to have blessings sooner if you can snap out of that pity party quick. And I made
Mm-hmm.
the Instagram reel a while back this year where I something happened that I didn't like, and it and then I just had intrusive thoughts after that of like, "Oh, that sucked. Poor little me. Oh, that sucked. Poor little me." And I was like, "How do I get rid of these thoughts? I know this is toxic for me. I want to be positive, but when the thoughts are intruding, what do I do?" And then um Drake's song came to me, and it where Drake says "Boo hoo, sad story." And I literally saying "boohoo sad story" to myself just zapped the pity party. Like
Yeah. Like you don't want to. You can't give
like
yourself a pity party.
your little ego, this little story in my head is glorifying my sob story. And when I say to myself, "Boohoo sad story," it kills the glorification of it. It's like, well, there's nothing to glorify about that. I guess I got to move forward then. Works like a
Exactly.
charm. Works like a charm. Next time you're licking your wounds, just say "boohoo sad story" and move right along, guys. Okay,
Yeah.
so there's a male version of this. Not exactly. It's the positive. Why do men get the positive version, guys? Okay. So here it is. These are things that are women really want in a man. When he smells like "I'll handle it, I'll book it, be ready at 7, you relax, I got it, and it's done." What do you think of that?
That's a powerful man right there. I'll handle
Amen.
it. Period. I'll book
Amen, you
it.
guys.
Period. It's
So
done. Yes.
yeah. So the
Because
bad
it
habits
shows
that
like
women
authority, not
absolutely.
like a whiner.
So the bad habits that women don't like about men are the opposite of this. If the man doesn't want to handle it, doesn't want to book
Exactly.
it, doesn't want to plan things,
Plan things.
then that's a bad habit that we don't like. So there you go. Now we have both sides. Okay, girl, let's shout out your new venture. I can't believe you're starting a restaurant.
I know, right? Can you believe that? Afro Fire Wings, guys. Our website is up. Go be one of the 100 testers. We're going to be doing taste
Mm,
tests all over Houston, Texas. So
girl,
go out and see my new friend Quasi. Do you see Quasi? Pull
no.
up Quasi. It's afrofirewings.com. Wings with the S.
Okay.
And then 100 tasters before football season, starting football season. We're going to be doing pop-ups every weekend. So you'll be able to come and actually buy the wings. Super Bowl weekend, we're opening a little QSR.
Girl,
restaurant.
the football season's around the corner too.
I know. So
So
if you so
I
if you
love
scroll
that
down,
you I love that you landed this website. That's a great website name, Afro Fire Wings.
yeah, so that is our little website. You can also go and get a Spotify playlist on there where you
Okay.
can listen to all of our Afro Fire songs. And beer tester, we're looking for 100 testers. Well, I think we're already like at 10 already. So there's 90 more spot for you to come taste my beautiful creation. And all you have to do is just sign up, and then we will coordinate everything with you. So you can give us some free feedback, and you'll be able to taste the wings before they hit the streets.
I love that. And then
Yeah.
my venture is my fashion line, shoplawkindness.com.
Yes.
We've got a
You've
new
been putting out
outfit.
so many great things.
Dude, we got a new outfit every day. And yeah,
Yes.
I absolutely love these designs.
Yeah, they
And
look so good. Very summery.
this one's actually this is one of my favorites.
Oh,
I think
it's
this is so
not your waist.
it's
Yeah.
so elegant and cool material.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so it's pretty exciting. Check that
Beautiful.
out. Link down below, my friends. And my independent journalism course is signing up students now. I'm going to be teaching you guys for 12 weeks on everything you know to be successful doing news independently, which I have been doing with a six-figure income since 2021. It's a lucrative emerging industry. Get into it. Freepresscourse.com, link down below.
Hello.
Yeah, girl, yeah.
Come on,
Okay.
guys.
Okay, so girl, fill me in on P. Diddy. So there was an unexpected turn of events this week.
Well, I think the media is just trying to say that it's unexpected, but Puff Daddy's trial is pretty much over. We are waiting for the jury to deliberate. Prosecution did the closing statement, the defense did the closing statement. Um I mean, what do you think, Ivory? Do you think Diddy's going to jail or what?
Well, I heard that the prosecution dropped the case or something. Is that right?
No, the I don't think the prosecution so I watch law, is it Law and Order on
Uh-huh.
YouTube? There's a
Oh
channel.
yeah.
So I think what happened is when the prosecutor was doing their last deliberation, they didn't really emphasize some of the charges
Oh.
in the deliberation. So the charges are still there, they're not dropped yet. So it's just the
So,
media trying to like
oh,
have a headline.
dude, the media will do anything for clicks.
Yes. So
Including dude, leave it to Daily Mail. They're like their headline today, C. Diddy's huge stash of lingerie, baby oil, and Astroglide in the court evidence. Girl, what is Astroglide? I don't
I
even
have
know.
no idea.
I don't even we're too sheltered for these things.
Yeah, so I think the prosecutor has a strong case with all the victims that they brought in, especially with Cassie and Jane, which was the two big victim. Um, and I think, it's just gonna be left to the juror to see if Diddy's guilty or not. One of the charges is pretty much life in prison, and one of the things that the prosecutor was really emphasizing about, like the transport of prostitution and all of that, it was really telling the juror that it only take one counts, one incident out of everything that they hear for him to be guilty. And obviously they've had text messages, hotels book, flight confirmation, so they have a lot of evidence to back their story and their case. So we'll see what happened.
Uh the case of like what raping underage kids or what?
No, prostitution and transporting of prostitution, RICO, and all of those charges that he's charged with.
So Why does Daily Mail have this picture? And if this is so, this it says they retrieved this from the Department of Justice. So this is a government exhibit. This is part of the evidence. They're showing like what, three pictures here?
Right.
Wait, that must be the baby oil right there. But dude, and then there's lingerie. Okay, and then what is he's getting a normal massage. I've had a massage just like that before. Like, what are we getting at here? If
Yeah,
this
you know
is
the
the
Daily
evidence
Mail
they
is
have.
so messy. It just
Yeah.
it's looking for clicks. But
Yeah.
you know this trial is a obviously is a high profile case. A lot of people really don't know what's gonna happen with the juror. We just have to wait and listen and to start the deliberation. But both the defense and the prosecutor already did the closing argument. So it's just a waiting game right now to see if Diddy is going to be called guilty or not.
Well, if that picture is the evidence they have, then he's not going to be caught guilty. But these juries can end up being really biased. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, and that's the thing too, because they had so much they just had a lot of evidence, and you know they had a lot of people coming to testify, so we'll see. It's, I mean, it's a very sad case, you know. I think I was reading, I don't know what verse I was reading, and I was reading it with Zeta. It talks about, I think it was in Proverb, where it talks about if you waste your, I don't really know what the verse talks about, but I'm just gonna paraphrase it. It talks about how if you just use all of your money to pay for prostitutes or things like that, you're gonna just end up pretty much in prison. And it reminded me of what's happening with Diddy, paying for all these prostitutes, paying for all of these escort, and look where he's at. His wealth is just vanishing. You know, all of the all of the money that he's ever made. He was pretty much $100 million away from being a billionaire. He was a $900 million in wealth, and now most of this money is just going to lawyers, to lawsuits. You know what I mean? It's just he had to sell so many of his assets. So it's just really important to just do good
Yeah,
on earth.
exactly. Be a good person.
Yeah.
Don't get
Don't get so
don't
caught up in worldly things
in the flesh. Don't let your
and
flesh
sexual
rule you.
sin, because obviously
Amen.
he's dealing with a lot of sexual sin and desires and things like that.
Amen. Okay, so next topic real quick. Gen Z is arming itself for World War III with they're
Okay,
taking
Gen
this
Z.
they're taking this very seriously, guys. Very serious. So
These 21-year-old kids are gonna go in war. Okay.
so Gen Z, I mean the oldest Gen Zers are totally in their they're 30. They're like 30. But
31.
they're so this is from the Times out of the UK, and they said 11% of British men say that they would go to war for their country.
Yeah, there's no
11%.
TikTok in war, guys.
They're just
Like,
making memes. This person said my feed split between Love Island and World War III.
yeah,
Because
exactly. They're making memes. You think these people are capable to even go to war? Girl,
with the Ukraine and now the Middle East with Trump dropping a bomb on Iran.
I know that is so crazy. Everybody's talking about it, and I'm like, guys, these people have been fighting when Jesus was still alive. I don't have like,
Great. It's been forever.
it's been forever,
I don't think
you
it's
know?
gonna change anytime soon,
That's what
but
I'm saying. Is it ever gonna change?
everyone keeps telling me, no, this is legit the apocalypse. This is the real sign that Jesus is coming. These are the actual end times. I'm like, okay, because Paul in the Bible said we were in the end times. And my ancestors a century ago said that we were in the end times. But everyone had their end time around 70 or 80. Some people had their end time sooner. So
That
maybe
is true.
focus on your own personal end time, which is coming way sooner than you think. That's how I feel about the end times. I'm getting an end time in several
Sometime.
decades.
Right.
So I'm looking at that. Dude, every one of us will have an end time. But anyway, so World War III, this is what Gen Zers are doing to arm themselves. They're arming themselves with
Ivory, it literally just kicked me out.
yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
It literally kicked me out.
So let's try this again. Here's another one.
Here we go.
That's
What
so
they're doing.
insane. They're on
That's fair.
TikTok.
And and women are creating 3 fashion designs. Like how to dress for World War III, like military fashion.
Girl.
So this is when we've had so much peace in our countries for like generations. This is we get a little bit, you know,
Sidetracked.
complacent, not even worried, can't even fathom that a bomb would be dropped on the
Girl.
UK, on the UK in this article's case, on the US in our case. You know,
I don't wish war on no one.
I feel
And for these
so
kids,
grateful. I feel so grateful that the idea of a bomb being dropped on my country is like insane and outlandish. But it could still happen, but it's like the fact that that's just like so unthinkable, that
I
we have
know.
such incredible military that could intelligence that can intercept any bomb that even tried. Thank the Lord.
Yep.
Yeah. Um so the final final story we want, which one should we wrap up with?
You pick.
Oh, my booga ball. The booga sphere. I really wanted to fit in this update.
Ivory's obsessed with this Booga spirit that I don't even know what this thing is. I'm like,
Let me
baby, I
just
stay
show it to
away from this stuff.
let me just show it to you again. This is real cell phone video from
Esta
Colombia.
esfera se habría acercado tanto, pero nadie.
They retrieved it, they took it to Mexico
Mira
to
como por donde pasa la agua queda brillantica.
studying it in Mexico. And
What,
the
the
update,
University of Mexico?
dude, the update is that
What is the
so
update?
it's being stored in a vault in Mexico. The
From the
government,
cartel?
like the government's being shut out of this research. And like
Who
I
has the
think
key to the vault? The cartel?
I they might. I don't know. Like
That's what I'm like.
somebody
This thing just sounds so crazy that, listen, if America doesn't want nothing to do with this booga, whatever it's called, y'all just need to leave it alone.
So I posted a clip on my Instagram. I feel like most people are like, this has got to be made up. With the era of AI, like people just don't even believe this could possibly be
Yeah,
true.
like where did it came from?
So this headline from Daily Mail: Men disguised as police attempt to steal sphere-shaped UFO after new information is revealed.
Oh my god.
And
Oh
this
my
is one of
god.
the researchers. This is the guy. This guy, he's an American. He was down there. He's staying down there in Mexico researching this stuff. He's the guy that Khloe Kardashian recently interviewed on her podcast about UFOs. Dr. Stephen Greer is his name. So he's been talking about how the reason he's saying that the reason a lot of these UFOs haven't been uh, made public is not government, but actually like energy the energy empire, basically like oil and gas, rich people, and things like that. If UFO technology gets introduced in America, it would wipe out the oil and gas, you know, industry and other technology industries, because UFO technology is so advanced. And so he's saying
Okay.
it's not just governments. He's saying it's very rich people who are like, let's shut out any UFO technology. I just like,
Yeah. I don't believe any of that. Whatever.
you
Americans
believe?
love money. It's all about we live in a capitalistic
Well,
world
that's what I'm
here.
saying. And the people are at the top of capitalism right now want to stay that way.
No, because if they wanted to stay that way, why would they bring all this? Why would they let all this technology out that actually make people way more money and that can take people to the top just like them? They would just continue to just squeeze us out.
Yeah, I
And
don't know. Like I said, my brother-in-law is developing some of this Nikola Tesla level technology right now. And I mean, he has it created and he's trying to bring it to market. And there's tons of pushback from oil and gas. But if they keep, so this technology is real, and it's the sort of technology that maybe is used in some of these craft. So the craft that was discovered in the ball in Colombia, I think it's probably man-made. It's probably someone like my brother-in-law who came up with this incredible technology. And, first of all, these people in 2025 didn't come up with the technology. Nikola Tesla a century ago came up with it, and people have been trying to bring it to market. Anyway, there's so much pushback. So I think someone created this thing. You watch it bobbing through the air like that, and then apparently it hit a power line and fell to the ground. Sounds like
hit a
someone,
power line. Why
yeah.
did it go hit something else? A house or something?
I think the guy, whoever was running it, didn't see that power line. And so
It's
I think
so
that,
this Booga sphere is so convenient. I love it.
so you don't think it's real at all?
I mean, it's not like I don't think it's real, but it's like someone is controlling that whole thing, and it's probably the cartel. Don't come get me.
Or was it introduced as some distraction? Some people think that governments are going to make UFOs more and more visible so that they can stage some sort of thing where it's like aliens are out to get us, so submit to the government so we can protect you, and then government has more control. Some narrative, like people have
Girl,
all kinds of narratives out there. I don't know. I just like to look
I
at
don't
this
know
ball
either.
flying through the air. I just think it's really cool to look at this ball flying through the air, and the fact that it has like this mysterious writing on it that nobody knows what it says. I
Somebody
don't know.
knows what it say because somebody created it. Jesus did not just take that booger ball and put it on earth. Girl, listen, when you start talking about it was started from Colombia, now it's in Mexico. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it looks like it was discovered by like farmers. They were
Okay.
you're like, whatever.
Okay.
There's cell phone video of like farmers recording it, and then it falls, and then they go fetch it, and I guess someone told them, oh, there's a safe place to research it in Mexico, but don't bring it to
Right.
America because
Don't
the
bring it to
American
America.
government will confiscate it.
Girl, the American government already probably know about it, been knowing about this thing. Because the cartel probably already wanted to give it to them. That's why it's back
Dude.
to Mexico,
So a
where
US
it belongs.
congressman a
It's
US
okay, guys.
congressman
This is
actually went down
conspiracy
there.
theory.
I know, it's like it's it sounds like a massive conspiracy theory. I don't know what's going on, but I just think it's a fascinating headline. This is from the same article. This congressman from Missouri, Eric Burleson, went down to Mexico last week to research this ball himself to try to get a look at it. So the government officials are trying to figure out what the heck is going on.
Of course they are.
Is this real or not? I
Wow.
mean, it was like last year that like some supposed alien bodies were found and researched in Mexico as well. I think those looked really fake. They looked like paper mache. So who knows what's real, what's real these days.
That is so crazy.
But I love paranormal stuff. I think aliens are real. Do you think there's aliens out there on some other planet?
I don't know. There's a lady on TikTok said that she talks to them.
Really?
They said hi to you, Ivory, 2 weeks ago.
Wait, what are you talking about?
I'm just kidding. But she said that the aliens, she said she speaks to them and they say hi to people. I said, baby, aliens are
Good.
not speaking to me.
Dude,
Aliens
that
are
would,
not
yeah.
speaking to me, okay?
I was just
But
talking
she
about
said
this.
she communicates with them every day and
I think this
she
is the
always
lady
have
my
like messages from the alien. I'm like, oh.
I feel like this is the lady my aunt follows. My aunt told me about this lady who talks to aliens. She's like, yeah,
Yeah, on TikTok.
she's like, I get willingly abducted. My aunt's like, this lady's so legit. I'm like, girl, I don't know.
She's not legit. Like what? What is
I
she
don't know.
getting? Where
If
are these
she's, I
aliens
mean,
at? I
if
have never
she's,
seen an alien.
if there's any sincerity in her, which I haven't really, I don't think I've seen any of her stuff, but if she is speaking sincerely, maybe it's a, she's going into meditation, and when you go into meditation, sometimes you can have like visions that seem really real. And if you're having like a vision where an alien's talking to you, it might be demonic. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
Someone posing as an alien in your vision.
Girl.
Because if it's angelic, if it's from God, that's the side of truth. Angels will just say,
Right.
they'll be real. I don't know. I don't know. I'm obviously not qualified to talk on these wild things, but I'm just really,
Yeah,
really
neither do I, because
suspicious
I
of
don't
all
even
that.
believe in them.
Yeah. You don't believe in aliens?
Hell
I do.
no,
I do think
girl.
I I do think
What?
aliens are, I think they're real. I don't think we're the only planet in the universe with
Well, I don't think we're the
life.
only planet in the universe, but well, obviously we're not because there's like Mars and all these other planets. But do I think that there's like aliens over there? They're talking to people and doing all this stuff? No, it's
No,
called the devil.
I my theory is that there are humans on other planets,
Where's that?
and I
Have
well,
you, have you seen
it's
them?
hard. It's hard for them to get to us, just like it's hard for us to get to them. And like, we have spaceships yet? Maybe everyone's working on it to try to visit each other's planets. They haven't figured it out yet. But what bothers me about the Earthlings is our people are spending so much time trying to get to Mars, which is a clearly dead planet. It's clearly a massive desert that's so hot that no life can live on it. Let's look at Venus. There's government propaganda out there that says that Venus's atmosphere is inhospitable. The fact is, Venus has a great thick atmosphere, a better atmosphere than Earth. It's
Ivy,
probably,
you been to Venice before?
I'm just saying, well, actually, so one of, like, I think it was the Japanese first lady
Uh
said that
huh.
it made like mainstream headlines that the Japanese first lady said that she was abducted and taken to Venus.
Girl, I gotta go. Not the Japanese person. Who's the Japanese president? Not President Chi. What was his name? King Jong Un, whatever his name is. King Jong, right? King Jong Un. That's his name, right?
I'm like,
His wife. No, that's North
I'm
Korea.
not making this
King
up.
Jong Un. He looks so scary. Yeah. But anyways, the Japanese first lady said she got inducted into. Girl,
Girl, I'm not making
what?
this. Look at The Guardian covered it. I'm showing you right now. Guardian's private. Okay.
Why is she here
Japan's first
still?
lady. Venus
Ugh.
Venus is a beautiful place. Straight up. So, who knows, you guys? Who knows? But I'm just saying Venus is the planet that actually has an atmosphere, and you need an atmosphere to live on a planet. So I would pay more attention to Venus, and I wouldn't
So
believe the
she got.
propaganda
So
that we
just
just
tell me the story
know
how
what
she
it's like.
got inducted into her vision or her dream or whatever.
Let's see. It says here,
What was she doing? Yoga.
as as Japan's new prime minister agonizes over the formation of his government, he is unlikely to be losing much sleep dreaming up a role for his first lady, while Michelle Obama has had a strike at an awkward balance between supportive wife and public figure. Miyuki Haruyama has cultivated a third role, that of peddler of new age bunkum. With the dust barely settled on last Sunday's election, Miyuki, whose husband will officially become Japan's leader, is already emerging as a gloriously eccentric foil in her humdrum hubby. So they're saying, I don't know. She says, obviously they're saying she's absolutely cuckoo. She says, I eat the sun. I eat the sun like yum, yum, yum. It gives me enormous energy. I don't know. I'm trying to get where it says how
Girl,
she
this
says
woman
she.
is not well. She's unwell.
Yeah. Uh,
She says
I
she
don't
eats
know.
the sun like yum yum yum.
Wow. So look at how her husband talks about her. Haruyama appears admirably unruffled with his wife's idiosyncrasies, saying, I feel relieved when I get home. She is like an energy refueling base. Oh my gosh, that's so romantic.
Girl, not if she's eating the sun.
She, I guess, her husband can vouch for the fact that the sun must give her some amazing energy that she passes on to him.
Well, I want to eat the sun. Where are we buying the sun from? You
You know,
can.
it circles back to the beginning of this show what we talked about. His wife, while she's weirdly eccentric, she's positive. She's joyful about the sunshine and about Venus. She's joyful about aliens.
She's eating the sun, girl.
And her husband just like, as
Did you
long as
put some
my
soy
wife,
sauce in that sun?
it's like, as long as my wife is spreading joy to me, that's what
And
matters.
eating
Oh,
sushi and the sun? Come on, I'll go to
probably
Japan, baby. Girl, that sounds crazy. That doesn't
no,
even
it
sound
is.
like
It's an
that sounds like
absolutely.
insane.
It is like an insane headline. It's like, who knows?
Wow.
It's from 2009. 2009. So I just find it interesting there's such a lack of interest in Venus. Um do I think that she actually went to Venus? Probably not. but
No.
but let's research it. Like, let's send a little robot down to Venus's surface like they always do for Mars.
Mars. Well,
Anyway, that does it, my friends. Go read your Bible.
oh my
Go
God.
read your Bible and stay positive.
Absolutely. And
And
women
have
stop complaining.
no
And
more
let's stop
complaining
having
about
bad behavior problem and drinking coffee all day and talking
exactly.
about it.
Don't even complain about the government.
Exactly.
We're happy people here. All right, we'll see you guys. We'll see you guys next time. Adios,
Bye,
my friends.
y'all.